All right, guys. JoJo on the radio in the studio with the guy. I want you, somebody I want you to meet, Jax Jones. Of course, he got this track. You don't know me. I'll just start right off the bat. You need to get on this track, or you're missing out. You're a bad person. Let's just unveil the whole thing right there. So jump on that. But okay, here's the first. When I first meet Jax, I go into the other room, and there you are with your fiance and your manager. And the first thing I say is, well, how did he propose? And man, we've got like already conflicting stories on this infamous proposal for you and your fiance. Like, and apparently you need to step your game up when it comes to proposing to your fiance. Not you can only do it once, I guess. And surprises, right? You need to get the surprise game up.
I think I've inherited bad surprises from my mum, to be honest with you. Like, my mum was the type of person to go, "What do you want for Christmas?" And you go, "Yeah, okay, here you go." I mean, even in these last few years, she hasn't even been rapping or anything like that. Like, she once got me an Oxford dictionary for Christmas. Like, so I feel like I've come a long way, you know.
So did you ask for an Oxford dictionary?
No.
And
what child asked for an Oxford dictionary?
That's a good point. Like,
it's like, "Mum, I want to read the dictionary really well."
Like, should I get him a PS4? Should I get him an Xbox? Now I'm gonna go with the Oxford Dictionary. Yeah, that'll be that. She'll love it. So she wraps up this. I mean, okay. Before I even go into this, did you do anything to make her think you wanted an Oxford Dictionary? Like, was there any reason? I can't imagine like why she would buy you a dictionary unless you said something.
She's just old school and Chinese. Like, so she's all about the academics, and that's the culture of being Chinese. Is, you know, you become a doctor or you become very clever. You know, so I had the Oxford Dictionary. My mum had me doing like long division from, you know, those old school maths books where the answers were at the back. Right. And it's like
upside down in the bag.
Yeah. It wasn't even like plastic covered, like smelt nice. It was old and tatty and like from Hogwarts or something like that. Like, and I'd have to sit and do that on a Sunday for 3 hours. I guess that's where I got my work ethic from. Thanks, Mum.
Well, good for Mom. You know, maybe you picked up a couple of, you know, maybe your lyrics will hit, you know, our next level somewhat because of this Oxford Dictionary. I mean, maybe she gets a little credit for that, you know?
No, big up. I mean, I remember, to help me remember my Pythagoras and stuff, or like a sin, cos, tan, I used to make it into songs as well.
I'm going to act like I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Like maths back in the day.
Right. Oh my God. Okay, let me ask you this. Now you're doing music. Music is your life. Music is your career.
Yeah,
that's not a traditional, I would imagine your mom at first, just my guess based on what you're telling me, she probably wasn't a big fan of it.
No, she wasn't having it.
How's she feel now?
I mean, she kind of doesn't understand until I got nominated for a Grammy. And then it was like, "Oh, nominated for a Grammy. Oh, that's great." Like, you know, so proud, you know, that they only know the big institutions, do you know what I mean? But like, it was tough. Like, to be honest with you, they wanted me to be a doctor, or like I went to uni and did like finance, and they wanted me made me apply to Oxford. And I got a little interview and stuff. I was like, "No, I don't really want to go to Oxford. Wow. I feel like that should go for someone else that's going to make good use of it." And they gave me this weird ultimatum where it was like, "Okay, cool. You want to do music, but you're not allowed to come back later than 10 p.m. if you were to go out." This was the idea. And that just kind of basically, you know, at the time I was like doing open mics and all kinds of stuff. And so I just had to bounce. So like I bounced super early from my mum's house and just got it cracking on my own for a bit.
Now, I guess is the story, maybe I heard the story wrong. Like, I guess you got kicked out of the house for a period of time.
Essentially, I mean,
she loves you, of course.
My big up mum, but yeah, they just did not get it.
Oh my! So all that work between that and the Grammy, and it took finally the Grammy nom. You know, the Grammy nom. Imagine when you finally win your first Grammy. Oh, she's going to go crazy. That's when she's like, I supported him the whole way. I knew it. I told him to do it. That's my dad. My dad, I've been working on Kiss FM for like since 98. I don't think he knows the name of the station to this day. He's like, really? What station are you on? He lives in Texas. I'm like, oh, don't forget about that. All right, you guys.
You're on the legendary Kiss, man.
I know. I'm like, Dad, it's Kiss FM. What are you, JoJo? All right. Wait, you think your mom's crazy. My dad's crazy. And of course, follow him on everything. Twitter, Instagram, at Jax, Jax Jones. What's your Snap, Jax? Same thing? Or
I'm not on Snapchat, you know. I'm on Instagram stories. That's what I do, yeah. It's all in one, you know. The more simpler the function, the better.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm on Snapchat, but I find myself doing, you know, Instagram story all just
more. It's because it's just up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just I'm just want to hit one button. It's too many things at some point, you know.
Yeah.
All right, hey, by the way, I forgot to finish up on your I know this is about music, but your fiance, what do you call the proposal thing?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that, and tell me where I got the story wrong, but you had planned to propose in the morning at some breakfast, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But something happened and you couldn't propose. However, you had already told your boss that you were going to propose in the morning. So before you you postponed the proposal, planning to do it later in the evening.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your boss is happy for you, so he texts your fiance and says, "Hey, congrats!" And your fiance is like, "What?" And you had just got a new house, a new flat. So she thought he was talking about the flat. She's like, "All right, great. Well, the house is nice, thanks." And so it all kind of it's crazy little scene. But it was a crazy. It was crazy.
Well, it was what I tried to do. Well, slick. So it was actually her boss. Like I text in the morning. I said, "Yo, can Deandra come in like an hour later?" And I was gonna take her to like some kind of swish breakfast. And then she made a passing comment like, "Who proposes before someone goes to work? Like that's so silly." Like I think she'd heard something somewhere, or maybe she got wind of it. And I was like, "Damn, this is bad." So like
abort mission.
Called
abort
it
mission.
off. Yeah, abort. Eject. Like dropped her back at the office, and I just pretended like everything was cool. And then we were getting on a flight to Tokyo, like one of our favorite countries. Like now went to that evening for like our anniversary kind of thing, and so I managed to slip it in before we went to the airplane. And yeah, it was for something so simple. I'm actually so glad I didn't do it in any kind of public environment.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I just had, like sleep paralysis, like when you're waking up and you can't move. Like I had proposal paralysis. Like you get down one knee, it's like, oh, can't move, dribbling. What's going on?
Like all these things that could go. Oh, yeah. So after all that's said and done, you proposed. She said
done.
yes.
Yes.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Good deal.
And then we like it seems to be been a good move. Like we're out here in LA, like having this song. It's like the energy's moving nicely.
Whatever you're doing, just don't ask questions. Just keep doing whatever you're doing. Give me details on this track, Jax. What do people need to know? I mean, I know it's blowing up on YouTube and everywhere else, but what do people need to know about Jax Jones and this track and all that?
Jax Jones I'm from the UK. I'm from South London to be exact. I'm doing house music that's informed by hip hop and informed by the UK house sound that we do.
House music informed by hip hop. I've never heard that phrase. I like that.
It's like I'm big into like early 2000s hip hop. Like that was my genre. That whole Timberland and Neptunes thing. So that influences a lot of my production. I'm hoping people can hear that. And You Don't Know Me. I think someone tweeted, if Timberland made a house track, it would be You Don't Know Me, and that was a huge compliment for me when I saw that. And it features Ray, who's a BBC Sound Poll winner from the UK. She's amazing and written this wicked song about just feeling super sassy, dealing with fake friends, and just being in the club and rejecting drinks.
Hey, I hear you're working on an album. I know an album's a touchy question because dates change and all this stuff like that. But as we stand right now, progress report. Are we done? Are we looking at a certain date, a time frame, or is it just when it's done?
It's done. One of those when it's done. Like I've got my follow up to my records coming pretty soon. Like I've been working on it already, and I'm kind of super excited, especially because I feel like our sound of house music, this UK sound of house music, is so fresh over here still. You've had like moments like Disclosure and stuff like that, but I feeling to continue that journey that they've gone on and hoping to just bring our sound to the wider public. And my next record is another one called Instructions, and we're like just finishing it off now, and it just gives you the feeling like you're in Carnival or something like that. And there will be other moments on my record where there'll be rappers, and not just, I'm hoping to work with some really great people, but like even I'll be bringing more new vocalists like Ray, similar in that vein, where you might not have heard of them, but you like love their voice, and I'm going to put those on the record as well.
I love how you described your music. House informed by hip hop.
Yeah.
Something about that, man. I don't know. Is that just a fancy way of saying inspired by early hip hop? I mean, it just sounds so like that's from that Oxford Dictionary, man. That's where that all.
Big up, mom. It's that Oxford Dictionary.
Oh man! All right, you guys. Once again, Jax Jones in the studio. Jax, thank you for hanging out, man.
Big up, JoJo, man.